Hey guys, how's it going? Solo back with another update video. It is Thursday, October 8th, and really choppy day in the market, and I made some mistakes today, so we're going to talk about some of the lessons or the takeaways that I learned, and hopefully I will not make the same mistake today. But let's get right into it. Looking at the heat map here, you can see kind of a flat day overall, right? Big tech, kind of flat. Semiconductors, not a good day really, except for the Honey Badger, because the Honey Badger does whatever it wants because Micron doesn't care. Micron was up 3%, but Nvidia down just under 1%. AMD also down 0.2%. I mean, basically flat, but I'll show you the graph, the intraday graph on AMD in a second, and very choppy. I mean, we had big green to kind of big red to flat. So let's get right into it, because today actually was when AMD had their Zen 3 launch at noontime, and you can see pre-market we were up 1.5%. We opened the market at 1.6% in the green. I thought, this is Zen 3 hype. We're gonna have a great day today. I expected this graph to look something like this, where just go up until noon, maybe sell off a little bit, and then trade flat for the rest of the day. But no, you can see from the moment the market opened, we sold off. We went from $88.11 to $86.54. We sold off $1.50 in the first 15 minutes. Had a difficult time. It was choppy, but we did rally up until 12 when the conference started. And then as soon as the conference started, we just sold off hard. I mean, we went from $88.55 all the way down to $85, basically $86. So we sold off approximately $2.50 in the matter of about 2 hours. Pretty much traded flat. Yes, I mean, right before the market closed, we got back up to a little over $86. After hours, we're actually green right now, up 0.4%, but really choppy day. And this is where I made my mistake, because I thought, because once the presentation started and they started releasing their specs and their CPUs and their price points, it was all great news. They were comparing themselves to their previous generation processors, and of course the leaks were actually true if you saw some of my other videos in terms of the performance gains, and in terms of comparing it to the Intel competitor, they were also doing better than them. The previous knock on the AMD CPUs was that they were good for multi-threaded applications, but for single-threaded, Intel actually outperformed them. So most games are single-threaded. So that was the knock against AMD, was that actually the Intel chips were better for gaming. But now they compared Intel to AMD in single-threaded applications, and AMD is the winner now. So as long as their benchmarks are true, and we'll verify that with all the third-party, YouTubers that are gonna do comparison testing and benchmarking, if that's all true, then AMD is gonna be the clear-cut winner across the board compared to Intel. So that's going to be game changing. I am looking forward to AMD kind of slowly increasing their market share and hopefully their share price as we go. But unfortunately, I was not able to get a good fill at this point around noontime. I kept trying to get filled, and then the price just kept going lower and lower and lower. I was setting limit orders because I don't want to set a market order, because then you could get a very bad fill if you try to get a market order on an option. And the price just kept moving away from my limit too quickly, so I just could not get filled. So really bummed about that I could not get a fill in. And I'm extra bummed because I was looking at the options chain, and at the time, because if we go back to the chart, around noontime, right when the conference started, you can see AMD was trading at about $88.55, okay? I was trying to sell a covered call for tomorrow at the 95 strike price for $75 in premium. And that was around noontime. And I would have loved that. I would have loved $70, $71, $72, anywhere around there. But then the price just started dropping so hard. There was so much selling off as soon as the conference happened that I couldn't get filled. And although Robinhood won't show you right now, on the brokers that I use, that same strike, the 95 strike that expires tomorrow, is trading for $1 or $2 right now. So in a half a trading day, I could have basically made $73 in premium if I had just bought the option to buy it back to close the position after selling it initially during the conference. So I definitely left some taco money on the table. I could have sold 2 contracts, so that's $150 that I potentially I didn't lose it, but I lost the opportunity to make it. So I'm kind of bummed about that. But the lesson that I learned is I gotta basically sell the option before these conferences start. Because about a month ago, when Nvidia had their conference, a similar thing happened where there was a big run up right up until the conference started. And then the moment it started, there was this huge sell off. So the same thing happened today during AMD's launch event. So lesson learned, I keep a little bit of a trading journal. So I'm going to write this down just kind of to remind myself of mistakes. And so if this situation comes around again, I know how to trade it properly, because at the end of this month, AMD is going to release their GPU. So they're going to have another launch event. So I'm certainly not going to make the same mistake next time. And I recommend that you write down your thoughts, your mistakes that you made, and how to prevent them in the future in a little trading journal or in a notepad, so that when the situation comes around again, you don't have to kind of remember what happened. You have it written down in your notes, and then you can profit from it the second time. I mean, that really comes from just experience trading, and every day you trade, you just get more and more experience and you learn more and more. So I take it as a learning experience. I'm still overall green for my AMD trade because AMD is currently trading at 86.80. I own my shares at 85, so I'm profitable by $1.80 per share. So if I really wanted to, I could just sell off these shares tomorrow morning if I just wanted to go all cash. But I am kind of bummed about that. I think part of the reason was, if we take a look at just the overall market, part of the reason is because there was a lot of turmoil, I think, in the market, because it's very choppy, as you can see here in SPY. There's a lot of back and forth in the terms of the political realm today, with the stimulus rumors and people tweeting, and there's just a lot of back and forth. These pharma stocks were getting pumped because of a certain someone that recovered from the illness. So a lot of back and forth, a lot of choppiness. And then unfortunately, there's more tweeting that's been happening after hours. So I'm actually concerned that tomorrow may be another red day or a choppy day, and that might mean that AMD is going to be flat again. I don't know. But I was really hoping for tomorrow to have another rebound green day. That way I can sell my covered calls finally. I'll probably look at selling them for obviously next Friday, October 16th, or maybe another week out, depending on what kind of premiums there are tomorrow morning. But the interesting thing, if we look at my TradingView technical analysis on AMD, it did not want to break above $88. This resistance line has held up again. You can see intraday we got up all the way almost to $89. But we ended up promptly selling off to close at about 86.75 or 86.50, somewhere in the high 86 range. So unfortunately for me, this area of resistance has still held up. So I really want AMD to break above this so I can collect more stock appreciation when I eventually sell off my shares. But right now, this has been a hard line to break above, and I really thought the launch event today would be the catalyst to do it. But if this can't do it, I really think, at least in the short term, the only thing that will make AMD go above $88 right now is the passing of a stimulus bill. Because we had a sell-off today. Hopefully we won't sell off even more tomorrow, but we'll have to wait and see. I do think we have support at about $84, $83, $84. I don't want it to go down that low because that's less than what my shares were assigned at. So we'll just have to wait and see. I am still a little bit scared about the market because the two parties are still bickering and they're saying there won't be a stimulus until the election. So, we'll have to wait and see what happens. I would be more comfortable and sleep better at night if I was all cash. My plan was to eventually sell off my AMD shares sometime this month and collect premium and covered calls along the way. But maybe that'll happen sooner rather than later. I don't know. I've also considered maybe setting some sort of a stop loss at $85 so that way I can cut my losses if we do have an overall market sell-off. But I probably won't do that. But I just have my eye on AMD right now because I certainly don't want to bag hold this because I have a significant amount of my portfolio tied up in AMD. But that was my trading day for today. So just as a recap, the lesson I learned was this was really a case of that phrase, buy the rumor and sell the news, because AMD was just cranking for about a week and a half all the way up to this conference. And the moment Lisa Stu started talking, we had a massive sell-off intraday. And so, you live and you learn. I'm going to make sure I don't make the same mistake the next GPU reveal event on October 28th. And same thing with NVIDIA or any other kind of news or launch conference for any ticker, really, because it seemed the same thing happened with NVIDIA. But hopefully some of my viewers were able to cash in from AMD. Let me know if you were able to, because the other thing that happened was there was really significant IV crush that happened right after the launch event stopped. So this was almost like an earnings day, but the earnings happened during the day, which was kind of cool, because if you had sold options right before the event started and then bought them back right after, you would have made money within 30 minutes. I mean, that event only lasted 24 minutes. You could have easily made 50% profit in half an hour, which is again why I'm kicking myself, because it would have been basically easy money in a short amount of time. But what are you going to do? There's always another trade. I didn't lose any money. I just lost the opportunity to make money. Let me know in the comments below how much money you made off AMD if you did trade it. As always, if you have any questions or comments, leave them below. And as always, happy trading.